Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. Eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I'm looking forward to this, but we'll see what happens. We'll get to that though. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, you know it's coming. I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Invase shirt, which I've worn in a number of reviews recently. I've actually had this shirt for a little while now, but it's just one of those things. It ends up in the rotation when it ends up in the rotation. But if you're unfamiliar with what Invase is, it is the one-man music project from a guy named Ian Shearer, who, one of these days, I just got to ask him how to pronounce his last name. But, extremely cool guy, long-running musician, played in any number of bands over quite a long period of time. These days, he's a family guy. He's, effectively retired from band work and stuff like that. But he still has his own individual project, which is Invase. He posts all of his stuff onto his YouTube channel. I will actually go over there and link said channel in the description box for this particular video because I think the guy's awesome and he, just deserves that much more love. But yeah, extremely cool dude, extremely cool music. I like it. If for whatever reason you can't find it, let me know. I'll point you in the right direction. But anyway, what am I trying for today, folks? What are we doing here? Why am I like, about it? Well, folks, that's because I'm stopping back off at, SUBday. And y'all know how I feel about Subway if you watch my channel for long enough. But, did go over there and decide to stop off at Subway because, in no small part, because Subway's been having a lot of issues lately. They've been really kind of hurting financially. They had an emergency meeting with a lot of the franchise owners, basically to figure out what's been going wrong. And pretty much conclusion was our subs suck. And we pay way too much for them. Because, here's the thing, Subway is the McDonald's of sub sandwich places. Which only works if you're relatively cheap. And they're not anymore, so people are upset. But I decided to toss them a bone. I decided to get one of their sandwiches. It happens to be their this is one of their newish subs, their number 21, the Honey Mustard Barbecue Chicken Sub. Which consists of rotisserie-style chicken, Monterey cheddar, lettuce, tomatoes, red onions, pickles, not a big pickle guy, honey mustard, and hickory smoked barbecue. I got it on the Italian herb and cheese bread. But, with this being a sub sandwich review, I do have to preface it with three things real quick. Number one being that for over 2 years now, I've been going out on sub sandwich adventures. What that means is, I've been going out to basically every place that sells sub sandwiches, be they chain locations, delis, what have you. I've been reviewing their subs, posting them to my YouTube channel. And that's where number 2 comes into play because I'm such a nice guy. I don't just post them to my YouTube channel. I actually have an entire playlist called Subs for Subs, which is a playlist for just my sub sandwich reviews. The time I'm doing this, I have over 100 sub sandwich reviews on there. And that's where number 3 comes into play because maybe that's not enough for you. Maybe you want more sub sandwich review and goodness. It's fine. All you gotta do is wait until Sunday. Why? Because Sunday is SUBday. That's the day when I go over there and I upload my sub sandwich reviews. I have not missed a Sunday since I started this particular series. So you're always going to get a sub sandwich review. But anyway, let's take a look at this thing. Ooh, that's... Okay. I'll give it this. It's got some heft to it. Let's kind of see if we can't... Best way to make this happen. We'll kind of Sure. Let's try out a sub sandwich. Oh, the pickles are noticeable, but I will say because they're so thin. Because the thing is, if you watch my channel, you know I'm not a big pickle guy. I don't actively hate pickles, though. It's just how they're used. And very often I find that they're just arbitrarily thrown on things instead of actually having a purpose, and I feel like the flavor overrides other things. In this case, I'll kind of give it to them. It sort of works along with the sweetness and the tanginess of both the honey mustard and the barbecue. So it kind of plays into that. Okay. Getting to the chicken. I'll say this. In terms of their protein, I think their chicken is probably the best in comparison to their steak and stuff. It's probably because chicken is cheaper, so they're able to not only put more in, but then on top of that, it's probably not as far away from the taste that you would like as compared to like their steak, which like it doesn't fucking taste like steak. I'm gonna point this out. So about a month ago, I did a couple of Subway sandwich reviews. I was not pleased with the whole situation. I mentioned there, and I'm going to mention it here. Part of the potential issue I ran into, twofold. One was that I ordered from a Subway I don't usually go to. The other thing was that I ordered it online. With this sandwich and the one I just got through reviewing, which, what the hell was that one? I tossed the thing away. Well, whatever. I went in-store, and personally, I think that probably makes a difference, because at the end of the day, you're right there. You're watching them make the sub. Because this does feel like it's got more heft to it. So, credit where it's due. And in terms of the flavors, not terrible at all. The honey mustard is sweet and tangy. Barbecue sauce, sweet and tangy. Most of the time, they kind of merge together to give it sort of a... They kind of become sort of a homogeneous flavor. Whereas, you do get occasional moments where you get sort of one or the other. I will say I personally think, I like honey mustard, and I love barbecue sauce. I will say I think the honey mustard, a little bit too sweet. But I guess that's kind of where the pickles come into play, because it's sort of, again, it creates sort of a contrast. I'm not going to say it's a great sub, but I am going to say, by Subway standards, this is definitely well above most of the subs I've had. The veg tastes nice with what it is. It's not the best veg you're going to get, so... But I like how it plays with it. I mean, credit where it's due. This ain't a half bad sub. I would go as far as to say I am enjoying this. I think in this instance, it benefits greatly, again, from, I think, the protein being chicken, so you can load it up more. The chicken itself doesn't taste terrible. It's not amazing or anything, but, it's doing the job it needs to do. And then, I think that they made some smart decisions. I think the honey mustard and the barbecue worked nicely. There may be a bit much. They may be a bit much at times, but two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? If I was at Subway for whatever reason, sure, and sure. That's the whole thing that pretty much any Subway review I do is being predicated on. Am I at Subway when I'm going there? Because the reality of things is, especially where I am, I'm fortunate I have an abundance of great places that do sub sandwiches. I don't have any reason to do Subway unless I'm doing these reviews. But if I was at Subway, you know, for whatever reason. Maybe it's just the only place open or whatever. You know, maybe my car broke down. Who knows? If I was at Subway and I wanted to go over there and get a sub from Subway, I wouldn't be opposed to choosing this one. It's not something I would go to Subway specifically for. Like, it's not a destination item. But I do think this is an instance where they play to their strengths. Again, I think the choice of protein was smart. I think that the flavors that they worked with were good. I even think adding the pickle on actually was really nice, because I think without that, it would have just been way too much sweet, you know? But having that pickle to sort of create like a little added bit of tanginess, I think that was really smart. So credit to whoever came up with the concept for this one, because if they could go over there and just get their quality down a little bit more, I don't think that their subs would be like terrible or anything, as this one kind of showcases. Now, if I'm recommending it, I mean, look, there are people who like Subway. I know Mr. Oda Khaled, frequent viewer and commenter on my channel, he has remarked to the effect that, you know, he doesn't mind Subway, and that's fine. Like, I'm not trying to shit on anybody who likes Subway or anything like that. They have their fans. For me, there's just countless other better options. I think Subway's pretty damn near the bottom. But, again, credit where it's due. Occasionally they have moments where they surprise me. Is this a great sub? No. Is it an okay sub? Yes. I would be willing to give this a solid C+. Ish. It is, I'm not gonna, solid might be a little bit, it's between a C and a C+, but I'll be nice and give it a C+. Like so many of my teachers did for me back in the day. But no, you know, again, I'm not gonna go out of my way to recommend it, but it kind of works. 5 things before I get out of here, though. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly, surprisingly decent Subway sub sandwich rest of your life. Sure. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your opinion on Subway? You all know mine. But like I said, you know, I have, on rare occasion, I have had, you know, some people stick up for Subway and be like, nah, Subway's okay. I kind of disagree, but again, instances like this, it's like, all right, yeah, you know, one of these days I gotta go over there and just make my own sub from Subway. You know, because, like, that might be where the real hidden gem aspect of things is for them. Because I always just get the pre-prepared things. But maybe I'll go through one day, do a little research, you know, check their ingredients list and stuff, and make just a Brandon sub from Subway. We'll see. But anyway,